an economic slowdown. It's very hard to think of this question, Nancy. It's a really good question, right? So what could have happened for humanity and nature to be doing well? What could have suddenly changed? Or maybe they're doing well because so much time has passed. Maybe we're in the future, many, many, many decades from now, when we've learned our lessons. It's just the passage of time that led us there. And not some sudden realization or some sudden shock. We evolved, we adapted, and we finally found a balance.
It's cyclical. Every generation goes through this. And there's always this big question. And I want to leave this interview with this question. If we go to scripture, ultimately the question in these stories, which is common in Judaism and Christianity and Islam, is about: should we farm or not? Should we become farmers, therefore domesticate the planet, domesticate plants, domesticate animals, and take control of nature? Or should we remain living as nomads? Of course, humanity has evolved towards the farmer, now towards providing for ourselves in a controlled way. I'm not saying we should not farm. We would all die of hunger if we don't. But we should question, how are we farming and in what way are we producing food, which is massive. But if we had to go to these stories, and there is wisdom in these stories, whether you are a believer or not, but these stories are telling us, don't farm, don't take control of nature, live as nomads. And I think we just need courage. We just need courage to say we can create a different way of
together. It would be because of a strong paradigm shift in our values. Despite how hard we're looking for magic solutions in technology, the changes that we need are simpler than that. People would need to be educated to recognize that we depend on the natural environment for our persistence, and that the natural environment provides us with so many intangible benefits that are priceless. Communities would need to be empowered to work together and not compete for unattainable material satisfactions, but put social well-being before greed.
I think we really need a big paradigm shift, to be honest. Our society is so much driven by profit at the moment. Make money. That there are people who are doing really good projects, like we can bring the example of organic farming, For example, it's a type of farming that sort of takes into consideration some natural cycles, doesn't use harmful pesticides, or artificial pesticides. So I like that example because it's something sort of achievable. But when you look at Malta, for example, one of the biggest problems is that nature is facing in Malta is the construction industry, which is usually profit driven, and it's a very powerful lobby, and it ends up affecting our land, also our natural land. There is a lot we can do with the way we buy things, for example. So supporting products that are more environmentally friendly, supporting organic farmers, becoming vegetarian or vegan. And of course, you can become an activist, join an NGO like I did. So what would have happened if there were no environment NGOs, The situation would be much, much worse than it is today. If we didn't have these organizations and passionate people defending our environment and nature, the situation, believe me, it would be much, much worse. So, I think if I would end on a positive note, join an environment NGO, support an organic farmer, buy products which take into consideration the environment, and you can do a lot of positive change that way.
I think it can only happen when humans find their place in the family of things, as Mary Oliver talks about in her poem Wild Geese. She talks about not having to be good and not having to try to be anything, but really finding what feels good to you and what is your particular way of doing things. Because we are part of nature, and if you look at all other parts of nature, if you look at animals, plants, all the different beings, they don't follow any kind of particular philosophy. They just do their thing in the most natural way. And as humans, we just need to find the way to really do our thing, to really be true to our own nature, which is an ability that we've somehow lost, which is a bit strange, but not, given that we have this ability to be conscious. That also gives us a lot of choices, a lot of possibilities. And I guess somewhere along the way, we've gone a bit off track with that things, even if you look at what we've started now to understand through quantum physics. It's really pointing towards the interconnection and the just inseparability of anything